During my 16, 17, 18, I had a lot of fun drinking alcohol, getting drugs, going to parties.
And now you're 23. You said you do breathwork and meditation
And yoga.
every day, and you're traveling the world. Why did you make the switch at 17?
When I moved to the big city in Buenos Aires in Argentina, I started to think, okay, why I'm choosing this for my life.
How did you manage to stay consistent with your habits?
When I did this technique that I practice every day, I felt at this moment I don't need nothing to be happy. I just need to be connected with myself. And when I felt that was so powerful, it was a habit that helped me to be more connected with myself. So I don't want to leave that.
How did you go from that to the whole digital nomad?
When I was working in the office, I started to feel bored and lost. I don't want to be here.
How did you have the confidence and trust in yourself to take actions on your decisions?
Clarity is the first point of a list of 4 or 5 points. The second one is...
All right. Welcome to, I don't know what episode this is of the People Side podcast. I'm currently in Mexico. We weren't planning on doing a... Did I tell you the inspiration behind this was throughout my entire trip, I was thinking a lot about what I wanted to do with my life and with content. And I knew that I wanted to do more content, but I didn't know what kind. I could see myself doing more podcasts. So I had this whole plan laid out. And one day I woke up at like 4 a.m. and I was like, I don't want to wait until I get back to Vancouver. How can I do this now? Right? And then so I was like, wait, okay, so what do you need for a podcast? You need 2 recording things. You need 3 cameras. And I was like, I have a camera. Anthony has 2 cameras. Anthony, for context, is my travel buddy. And so here we are.
That's it. I think that you are having like interesting life or doing interesting thing like surfing, traveling, meeting new people. I think that is a good way to start the podcast and share your experiences, invite the people to your podcast and talk about life and the things that you was that is better. So,
yeah, do you want to introduce yourself? I met you like a couple days ago, so.
Yeah, we're really close friends.
Yeah, met you a couple 2-3 days ago. Yeah,
it was a nice week together. Well, I'm also from Argentina. My short name is Lolo, like Lolo, CAPPUCCI is LoloCappucci. It's like in Italian name. Well, I think that I love to travel. It's one of the things that I'll describe me really good because I have been traveling since I had like 12 years ago with my parents, and then at 17 I started to travel alone. So I like to discover and explore new places, like meet new people, understand different perspectives. So I think that gives to me like a better understanding of life, or at least like, you have like your perspective of life. But if you talk with 100 people and ask about what they think about life and the work and health and all the topics, common topics, general topics, you can have like more perspectives and you can grow your perspective and like evolve. That's it. So I love to do it. And I used to like hang out and drink a lot of alcohol and drugs at my 17s.
Yes, I read about that in your blog post, and that's something that I wanted to ask you about. So, and this might be related to my next question, which is, why did you make the switch at 17 to kind of, start traveling solo? And you seem to have a point in your life, and you're pretty young too. You're like 23.
Yeah, at 18.
Yeah, at 18.
Now
but
I'm 23.
yeah, so right now you're 23, and you seem to have a point in your life where you were like, I'm doing all these things like the alcohol and like, did you like party and stuff too, or And then you had a point in your life where you kind of just made a switch, and now you're 23. You said you do breathwork and meditation
and yoga
every day. And you're traveling the world, and you have a job that allows you to work remote. It's like there's been such a massive before after. Yeah, that's what I was like. I want to talk to this guy.
Yeah, I think that like during my 16, 17, 18, I had a lot of fun like hanging out, drinking alcohol, getting drugs, going to parties, meeting people in the parties. I mean, when I moved to, I was born in a small town.
Yeah.
When I moved to the big city in Buenos Aires in Argentina, I started to look for new experiences, and I could observe that in my whole life, I have been looking for new experiences. So when I start to like take decisions by my own,
Yeah.
I start to think, okay, what I'm looking for, like why I'm doing all the things that I'm doing like every weekend, every day, like why I like to hang out, like just get alcohol, drug, why I'm choosing this for my life.
Yeah.
And one day my father sent me an invite to this course. It was a course to learn meditation and breathing techniques. I went with my sister.
In person course.
Yeah, in
Okay.
person course in
Okay. Yeah.
Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
Like really close to my apartment.
Yeah.
So I say, okay, I will try it. I'm looking new experiences.
Yeah.
I'm looking try different things. And I feel like, okay, just using my breath, just closing my eyes, I could experience like for a couple of seconds, minutes, like was like a pretty deep experience when I did this technique that I practice every day. So, okay, I'm here, I'm happy. I don't need nothing to like be happy. I don't need nothing more to, you can get drugs, alcohol, and will be fun. I felt at this moment, I don't need nothing to have fun, to be happy, to whatever I want to do in life. So I just need to be connected with myself, like connected with the present moment. And when I felt that was so powerful.
Wow. Okay.
So was not a drastic decision. I didn't leave all the other things. I keep myself doing that, but something started to happen in myself, like had that experience. So.
Yeah. Wow. Because I've done breathwork and meditation before, but you must have had like a good teacher then.
Yeah.
Because I've had very few instances where I've felt that, and one of the instances was when I was meditating. It felt kind of like a trip. Not really. It just felt really weird. But I want to hear more about the experience that you have whenever you do this, because you said it felt deep. You said it felt like you're just satisfied with where you're at. It kind of sounds like. So like how did that, I want to hear more about that, like the experience, and then I want to hear more about how this changed your life, because it kind of sounds like it did. Yeah.
The thing is that before meditate, it's always better to start with breathing techniques.
Okay.
Because like if you put your attention now to your breath, like your breath is in the present moment.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put your attention in your breath, your mind gonna be in the present moment. Like our mind is, if you're watching this podcast or if you're talking with me, maybe your mind is thinking in whatever, like thinking in the future, thinking in the past.
Yes.
So if you sit to meditate, commonly your mind will start thinking in different things.
Yes.
But if you start breathing and putting your attention in your breath, like your mind gonna be in your breath. So your breath, it's in the present moment. So you gonna be in the present moment, and that's so powerful. And there are some techniques, like the technique that I practice every day. It has different rhythms and different like movements, help you to train your mind to being more time in the present moment. So if you start practicing like these techniques, your mind gonna be easily in the present moment. So you will go to a meditation statement easily.
Yes.
And you will feel like good feelings.
Yes. So how? Yeah. It's like, it's the feelings that I'm curious about, because I've never experienced that before.
Okay.
So you feel present. Like, what is that? Does it feel light? Like describe how it feels.
Well, I like to see the experience of meditation just like experience.
Right.
Like you during the meditation, you can experience different things. Some people like see lights, some people nothing. And for me, the important thing is what happens after meditation.
Yeah.
How is your mind after your meditation? How is your mind after you practice breathing techniques? And you can feel like less thoughts. You can feel like more present. If someone wants to fight with you or discuss with you after your meditation, you don't want it. You can just ignore.
Yeah. How does it feel for you though? Like personally, like describe like a typical.
Okay, for example, now today I didn't do my breath techniques yet. I will do after our conversation.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, for example, well, today is a day off and I didn't work today. But supposedly that I have a lot of stuff to do, like during today. I did a lot of work today, and I have those things on my mind. Like, you have to do this, you
Yes.
forgot to do this.
Yeah.
Like, tomorrow you have
A
to.
lot of thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I do my breathe techniques, like, everything is so clear. Like, all of these thoughts, like, doesn't appear in my mind. Like, I'm so focused.
Is it quiet, or is it more so like there's a bunch of thoughts and then like the less important ones kind of settle
No, I think
away and
it's
then
quiet.
okay.
Yeah, it's so quiet. And then, like, like, it's like my mind is more clear.
Yeah.
So if I have to take a decision, I always prefer to, like, do my breath techniques before. So it's, for example, if today is a day that I have to important decisions, I definitely will do my breath techniques in the morning because my mind is so clear and I can be faster.
Yeah.
I can be like sharper. That's the feeling. But for me, it's like less thoughts, calm.
And then how did you go from that to do you still drink or no?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So it sounds like like back to what I mentioned before, there's a big before and after difference. But it sounds like there's space in the middle where you learned about meditation and breath work, and then I'm guessing you probably slowly replaced certain things with more meditation and breath work. Like how did you go from that transition?
Well,
Yeah.
took me 1 month
Yeah.
to observe and say, okay, I don't need more of these things in my life. And at the beginning it was weird because the decision was not a mental decision. Like, was okay, I'm following my body and my mind. I want to take care of my mind. I want to take care of my body.
Yeah.
My body is like, my body and my mind prefer meditation, breathing techniques. I mean, you can meditate and practice breathing techniques. You can drink alcohol, you can get drugs, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I took these decisions before, like, because I just feel it. You don't have to make an effort to do it. Like, for me, it was natural.
Yes. But aren't those habits and behaviors addictive? Like it sounds like a month. It sounds like a really good turnaround time.
No.
You know, like okay. So you kind of did it for fun, and then like it was pretty easy to let go. It sounds like okay. Huh.
Yep.
And then how did you go from that to doing the whole digital nomad? Kind of sounds like you're doing that now with traveling, and you're working from home. You have your own clients.
Yeah, I think that, like, for me, these techniques gave me a lot of clarity in my mind about what things I like to do in life, what things I don't like to do in life, and help me to grow faster. Like, because I can choose, okay, I will try this.
Yeah.
I have been working in an office for 2 years. That was my first experience working.
Yeah. Was this after high school or university?
During university.
During university, okay. So you worked in an office as...
Yeah, 8 hours a day.
8 hours a day as what position?
Like, it was like marketing analyst.
Marketing, okay. Marketing analyst, yeah.
And with this clarity in my mind, like, I could experience, okay, now I'm doing this work, I'm having this experience, but I would like to try something different because I'm not feeling like completely satisfied here.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy it because it was my first experience working, and I'm really grateful about that. But I started to feel like I want to create something by my own. I want to, try work remotely because it was a trend at this moment. And one of the things that I learned from my master, my meditation master, is an Indian master. It's really nice person to know. And like, just go, trust in yourself, trust in life, and whatever you want. That is what I love of meditation and breathing techniques, because it's very common to being lost in life.
Yes.
Maybe you experience it
so many times. Yes.
So many times. So when I was working in the office, I started to feel like bored and lost. What is the purpose of my life? I don't want to be here. One of the things that I love to meditation and breathing techniques is like, you can get a lot of like clarity. And when you have clarity, say, okay, I don't want this, I want this, or I want to try this. You have that clarity. So say, okay, I will try this. And one of the things that I learned from my master is just go and try it.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, well, you will learn and you will do something different. But that clarity, the meditation and breathing techniques gave me that clarity to take decisions and moving forward.
Yes.
Moving forward every month, every year.
How did you have the confidence and trust in yourself to do that? To take actions on your decisions? Because so often, I see this a lot. So I don't want to generalize for the world, but I'd like to believe that it sounds like you did like a bottom up approach instead of a top down approach, which means like bottom up is like you start with things at the bottom and then you build up. So you're like, I have had these experiences, I know these things about myself, and I'm going to make these decisions. And then you go up. Whereas top down is saying, oh, I currently work at this job right now. Maybe I can try another job, or maybe I can do this, or maybe I can do this. And you don't really go down to the bottom. And I see that a lot. Like a lot of people, they don't really like their corporate jobs, so they just try another job. And they don't, I think you said clarity a lot. And I think when you say clarity and when I say clarity, we mean different things. Because to me, it sounds like clarity holds a lot more, I don't know what the right word is, like power, volume to you. Because it's such a powerful thing that has helped guide you in decisions and direction in life. And I think that's something, after hearing what you said, that I've underestimated. Because if someone's like, oh, well, breathe and meditate, you'll have more clarity in your life. I'm like, well, how is that going to help me with my life, right? But after listening to what you said, it sounds like not only did you gain clarity, but you also had good influences in your life, like your father and your meditation teacher. And not only that, you had the confidence in yourself to make those decisions, to, instead of going and trying another job, to actually try to live the digital nomad lifestyle, to travel. Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
It's a really good point. For me, like, clarity is the first point of a list of 4 or 5 points. But the first is clarity. I understood you, like, you want to go deeper. You want to, like, have the confidence to try something different. There are more things that you need. And yeah, you can get for different tools like meditation, breathing, workouts, so whatever you like or enjoy.
Yes.
I think the second one that travel gave me as well a lot is perspective. Like one of the most important things that gave to me the value to move forward and like run a business, like change my job, like work in different projects is like perspective. Increase my perspective on what can I do with my knowledge, with the things that I have learned. What can I do with this? Okay, for example.
Yeah, I was going to ask for an example. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, boil it down to an example. Yeah.
Yeah. For example, I learned marketing. I learned meditation and breathing techniques. So I started to using my marketing knowledge. I started to work for persons who share breathing and meditation techniques. So one of my business now is use my marketing tools to help grow the wellness coach or meditation coach. So I connect my different knowledge to help them grow. Before do that, I met a lot of people was doing like a service. Like for example, I met a guy that was running a business in marketing, helping like surf teachers.
Yes.
Like because he likes surfing.
Yes.
And he know about marketing, and so he do that.
Yeah.
The point here is like, okay, I know about marketing.
Yeah.
I can go to corporate job, work as a marketer there. I can get paid $3,000 or $5,000. What can I do different to that? Because everyone is doing that.
Yes.
So like start to travel, meet new people, and networking helped me a lot to help.
So would you say that perspective helped you like take the leap?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Increase the knowing of the things that you can do with your knowledge.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can learn more things, but with the things that you have studied, with the things that you have experienced, how you can create something or how you can, like, I don't know, make a different job.
Yes.
Whatever you want to do different, like, what can I do? And I start to let new people, start to do, like, mentorships and different courses and connect all the things that I know travel, meet new people, know how they are living. For example, I went to Australia.
Yeah.
And I have been working as a gardener.
Yeah.
And I know about marketing. I know a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I felt okay. I can live being a gardener.
Yeah.
I was getting paid much better as a marketer.
Yeah.
So I can live being a gardener. I can live being a bartender.
Yeah.
I have been serving cocktails and beer as well.
So you have been a bartender before? Yeah.
In Australia, I experienced different jobs. So increase my perspective. What can I do? And I was creating connections with the clients. I was I remember that all the people that I met, like the owners of the gardens, always serve coffee for themselves, a Coke, and that skills to talk with people, connect, and okay, I know that you can work as a gardener and learn sales. You can work as a bartender and learn, I don't know, how to get more tips.
Right.
You can develop different skills, and then that perspective, you will have more confidence to try new things. Say, okay, I tried this and I like it, but I know that I can try something different because I'm changing. I'm trying different things, and I'm feeling happy, and I'm doing great in different things. So, and I don't know if we had to choose one and just being.
Yeah. So that's the other thing that I have, because it seems like you reflect, you decide on what you want to do, and then you just do it. It's a lot easier said than done for a lot of people, right? Like a lot of people want to travel, a lot of people want to quit their jobs, a lot of people want to change jobs, a lot of people want to, do whatever. And you seem to have this ability to just move very quickly, it sounds like. And so I want to know how you gained this. And kind of like an add-on question to that is, in the very beginning, when you decided that you didn't want to work in an office anymore, what was that decision-making process like? Because a lot of people find it scary. A lot of people, there's like, what will my parents think? What will my friends think?
Yeah.
All these little things. Because that to me, when you tell your story, sounds like the starting point of all this.
Yeah. Well, I think that learn and meet people that were working as a nomad, digital nomad, and travel and met people that were working as a gardener, as a bartender.
Yes.
Next to the beach.
Yeah. So it started with traveling. Like you
traveling, and as well seeing people working remotely, like friends. Networking.
Oh, okay.
Just in my computer and traveling.
Yeah. How did you learn the skills to? Because even here, like when we're in Mexico, when you speak, I've noticed that you talk to a lot of people. Like you've talked to the owners of this place. I don't know any Spanish, so I'm kind of lost while I'm here. How did you learn to go for it and talk to these people? And I think yesterday when we were walking or the day before, and you asked someone about how much do they make, and some people would find that as a touchy topic, but you seem to have this ability to not only talk to people, but also connect with them and get to know more about their life and use that information for your own decision making.
I think that meditation and breathwork is helping out. Yeah, because when you have a lot of thoughts in your mind, we're thinking every day, every second. But when you have calm your mind, you're more spontaneous.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think a lot before doing things.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's one of the things. But you're present. So if you have the idea with that person, you will go and you will speak with that person.
Yeah.
So, and that works for other things as well. If you have the thought to change your work, probably you will have okay, have this thought, and you will you can identify how strong is that thought.
Yes.
That thought. And for example, if you start thinking, no, that person will judge me.
Yeah.
Don't will talk with me, because in that meditation and breath techniques reduce that thoughts. So you start commonly. I used to have the thoughts.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah. Yeah.
But meditation and breath techniques reduce the thoughts, and you can observe your thoughts
Yeah.
instead of follow or just thinking and believing in what you're thinking.
Yes. Wow. Okay. Huh. So when you, if we like dial it down to one example, when you see someone interesting and you're like, I want to talk to this person, I want to get to know this person, and you approach them, this thought of I want to talk to this person comes up. In my head, if we were to play this out, it's like you have this thought, and then there are other like what ifs, right? Like you mentioned, like what if this person judges me? Well, I don't know Spanish, so how would I do that? What if the conversation doesn't go well? Oh, he doesn't really look that friendly. Maybe I don't want to talk to him after all, right? You have all these thoughts, and then in my mind, how it works is it's almost like I think of each of the thoughts, and then I try to counter them in some way, right? And it's like, oh, well, I don't know Spanish as much. Well, I can use Google Translate. It's like, oh, well, this person might look unfriendly, but I've had experiences talking to people that look unfriendly, and they turn out really nice, right? And so it's a lot of mental energy. So that's how it works in my head. How does it work in your head?
I have a good example of today.
Yeah.
I was walking the street and I saw 3 friends from Europe that were having lunch in a place.
Yeah.
And I stopped myself and I asked how was your surf class or how was your day wherever.
Yeah.
And just one like answered to me and was not so friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked 2 or 3 things and like they asked were just like common questions and common answer and short answers.
Yes.
I feel like, okay, they don't want to talk. And I felt the same of, I don't like when I'm having lunch or when I'm eating that someone stops to talk to me.
Yeah.
So I try to close the conversation and I say, have fun, enjoy your lunch, and I still walk it. And I leave the place thinking, okay, maybe they don't like me too much. Maybe start to think a lot
Yes.
judgment. But in the next instance, I say, okay, these are just thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I will ignore all of them and I will continue doing my things.
Yes.
And I forgot completely like the girls and all the situation and just continue my life.
Yeah.
And I know that if I see the girls again, because they live close, room, house, so for me, what happens there just was common situation, and I forgot what happened in my mind. So, well, I didn't forget because I'm telling them.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
What my mind say to me about that situation. I will do that.
Yeah.
It was just my mind.
It sounds like you had thoughts afterwards, and you didn't put a lot of weight on those thoughts. Yeah. So you didn't deem that situation as anything important, and so when you see those people again, it's not like awkward or anything. It's just like a regular interaction.
Yeah, but it's interesting because I don't have a like really deep relationship with them.
Yes. Yeah.
I think if that happens with someone that you love a lot or a close friend, it works different. Like your mind starts to have many thoughts, and you say, "Oh, what happened there?" He's thinking something about me. You have to tell me what is happening, and you have to start. But I think that apply the same rule, like just being natural and ignore most of your thoughts. But if you feel that is something happening, like a friend or your couple or someone that you love a lot, it's ignoring you, or
it's worth bringing up and communicating that. Yeah. I want to know what happened before you started talking to them. Like what went through your head before you started talking to them?
Nothing.
Nothing? You just did it?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Because I think a lot. I think a lot. And the past year, I had a phase where I tried to learn social skills. And I tried to come up with, all these strategies of like, talk about, there's this concept called triangulation. And triangulation is basically and it's the most effective strategy that I found for talking to people and like starting conversations. And triangulation is basically you find something that you and the person you want to talk to have in common. And the easiest way to do that is you find like a physical object. So for example, if we're talking, I can talk about your hat, right? Because I know that you have a hat and if we start talking about your hat, you would probably care about it, right? And so you can see how there's so much thinking involved. And at the end of that, what I learned was that authenticity is the most important. And as long as you are yourself, and as long as you have a lot of trust in who you are and how you come off, like you really trust your vibe, then you'll be fine. And something that I've learned on this trip is you can't make everyone happy, and that's okay. And I don't know why it took me this long to learn that. Because I used to be the guy that if you go to a networking event, it's like I have to try to get everybody's LinkedIn's, right? I have to talk to everybody. I have to like min-max, right? Like always try to do everything, right? Like whenever you're at a party, like try to talk to everybody. When like try to get everybody's Instagram, try to, you know, like, oh, what if I don't get their LinkedIn and I need to message them? Like, what if I need to message them in the future? And these days, I've learned to just like, if I talk to them and they don't talk to me back, it's okay. It's so simple. And so it amazes me how you've learned this at such a young age. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah, well, you have learned that here.
Yeah, learning, always learning.
That is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm learning from your experience as well. I'm listening to you, and that's so good that you are sharing that with me, and I'm learning as well from you. So all of us are learning. And I think that not all the people like used to asking that questions, like used to observe their behaviors, want to change it or improve something. So I think it's
How would you say that? I'm gonna make an assumption, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think that you've had a lot of good influences, mainly from your father and your meditation teacher. It sounds like, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because a lot of friends that I talk to, they don't really have a strong father figure, right? Or at least someone that they can learn a lot of life things from. You know, like you mentioned earlier, meditation teachers, like if you trust in yourself and you want to do this, just do it. And it's like what Alex Ramosi says, which is like, instead of win or lose, it's win or learn, right? And it's a much more positive mindset that encourages you to like, and to encourage you to like try things. And a lot of people, they don't learn these because of that lack of, you know, like a figure. So is that true for you? Like, have you?
It's a good question. I'd like to talk about things that it's not that I learned, like, because I have not that experience. Like I always has a good example or a good person to learn about the things that I want to learn.
Yeah.
So I don't like too much about if you are in a case that you don't have no one to learn. So probably I will recommend you like my meditation teacher or some author or writer that I love.
Yes.
But for me, one of the most important things is to find someone to learn. So someone who was experiencing what you want to learn, or at least one partner to walk together and learn together things that you want to learn.
Yes. Is that how you approached life? Like you're like, I want to learn this, and then you go find someone, and then...
Yeah, for example, for my routine, my yoga routine and breathing techniques every day, I have a group.
WhatsApp or like a remote group or...
WhatsApp, and yeah, we are really close friends. So
yeah.
We have the same habits, so we are like brothers.
How did you find them?
In the courses. Learning in the same places, like if you go to learn yoga, you know, if you go to the gym at the same time every day, you will find a lot of people like lifting the stuff, and you can like network with them and like set goals together. And I did the same with yoga and meditation.
I see. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was so powerful to have.
Yeah. What I find so interesting as we're discussing, and I'm reflecting on my own experiences, is you seem to have a very good understanding of who you are and what you want, kind of. And for me, in my experiences, I've noticed that I feel like I don't really have that, and I feel like I'm trying to find that. And I'm bringing this up because what comes up for me is when you say you want to learn something and you go for it, and then you find like people around that. I think you have to go to a certain length before you do that. For example, so I tried boxing, right? And like boxing is pretty fun, but I don't want to get into it too much because I don't like it that much.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, should I keep on going with this or should I just not? Right? Or should I try to find something that I enjoy more? Right? And I'm like, oh, well, I have noticed that I've taken yoga classes and I really enjoy yoga. And I'm like, why haven't I just made the switch to yoga? You know? And so that made me think of other instances in life where I have very hot takes on the education system. I think that the education system is broken, and I think it teaches you to motivate yourself in the wrong ways. And in this example, push yourself in a direction that you know isn't right for you. And so boxing is just one example, but I can think of other areas in my life where I've pushed myself to keep on going in this direction, even though it's not right for me. And you seem to, like, if I was to like draw a visual for this, and this is like, this is where you should stop. I tend to go like past here, whereas you tend to like hit this, and with the reflections and the mechanisms you have, you tend to reflect, and then when up until you hit the splint, or when you go over so that you know you switch. And it seems like, that's why to me it seems like you just move.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because, like, if supposedly if you want to improve or being really nice doing something, you have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I'm really enjoying the surf classes, but I know if I want to be a good surfer, I have to practice all this month that I will do it, but I have to come back or go to another place while still doing surf. So I think it's a really tiny line between like doing and trying different things and feeling yourself comfortable doing. For example, I have been doing yoga, meditation, and breathing techniques for 5 years, and I will do it for the rest of my life. I'm pretty sure. And one of the things that I think is like, it's changing. Everything is changing.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
Human beings like burn, and then we're gonna die.
Yes.
Everyone.
Yep.
Everything is changing, but I think one thing inside ourselves is not changing. Like, if you, I learned this from my spiritual master, my meditation teacher.
Yes.
Like, if you can perceive that everything is changing, it's because something inside you is not changing. It's not how you can perceive that everything is changing. If yourself inside is changing as well, you can never.
Oh, that's such an interesting. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
So you can connect yourself.
Yes.
With that part that I did it through meditation and breath techniques. Like, you can feel yourself flowing in life with different things.
Yeah.
But the most important things for me is like keep my connection with that part of myself.
Yes.
So if I surf and I'm still connected with myself, so I will surf a lot. If I do yoga and I feel myself connected with me, I feel connected with myself.
Yeah.
I will keep doing yoga. And like, I think every person in the world have different things to feel connected. But like breathing techniques and like spiritual tools can help you more to be connected and identify all the things that you can keep doing for the rest of life, or at least like choosing that things. For me, like, for example, was like, I prefer to like maybe wake up early, do some yoga, take a coffee and go for a walk. Instead or hang out at the night too. You can do both. I felt myself better with the first one. So I think every person is connect with their self, can choose the best things for.
That is so cool. I have so many things to say. The first thing is like, that concept kind of blows my mind, where it's like everything else is changing, but you yourself, like, you are the constant, and you know that because you can perceive that everything is changing. If you're different people, then like all your perceptions would be like mangled, and it's like, so that's so cool. That's so cool. And you seem to do things or keep doing things that help you feel connected to yourself, because you seem to really value that connection with yourself. And I think that's beautiful, because in my head, when I try different hobbies, there's always like a goal around it.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, for boxing, it's physical activity. Physical activity helps relieve stress, mental health, right? It goes down that path instead of being like, oh, I like singing because I feel like whenever I am feeling sad and I sing a sad song, it helps connect me with myself, right? Like that logic for singing and like karaoke, which is another hobby that I do, is very different than the logic from boxing. And I find how you seem to have this, I find it interesting how you have this core of just this connection with yourself, and then you build other things around that. Whereas the way I think for some of my hobbies is oh, I do this for this reason. I do this for this reason. I do this because of this goal, or I do this to be healthy. And in a way, you can kind of see how it connects back to yourself, but that's not the primary reason, right? It's like, of course, like if you do physical activity, you're going to be healthier. That's good for your body and that's good for you, but it's not the primary reason. And that I find that so interesting, because one of the things I wanted to ask you about was you doing this every day, and like your habits, because I think that in the personal development space, when I was first trying to do all these habits, I did habits because people just told me to. You know, on the internet, you kind of hear journaling's good, meditation's good, getting enough sleep is healthy for you. And I started a habit tracker, and I tracked my habits, I think for like 2-3 years. It's still going, but it's inconsistent, because at some point I realized that I had these stats, but they weren't serving me. I wasn't doing anything with these stats. And one question that I had for you is, how did you manage to stay consistent with your habits for, you said you've been doing them for like 5 years? Yeah, every day. Yeah.
Never like forget one day to do.
Yeah.
But I think that it's
that I don't think people understand, unless they've tried to do like a consistent, how difficult that is. Because life changes. You get sick, things happen, you get busy, you get and that's so, I don't think people understand how like hard it is to do something like that, like every single day.
Yeah. At the beginning was weird as well, but it's about what we were talking about like just 5 minutes ago. Like, was natural because was a habit that helped me to be more connected with myself. So
Yeah.
I felt I don't want to leave that.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave this. I don't want to have one day of my life without doing this.
Yeah.
And now it's like wash my teeth.
Do you think of it as a chore? Does it feel like a chore? Like what is it?
No.
Do you look forward to doing it?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy it when you do
I
it?
really enjoy it.
Ah, okay.
Each
Okay.
breath, each second of my practice.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do it just for do it, but in the moment that I finish my practice, I felt
Yes, that's great. It's amazing. I started journaling more consistently recently, because I had a friend. I hosted a New Year's party, and I had a friend, and at the end of that party, she's like, "Oh, I need to journal." And then so she borrowed my laptop because she didn't bring a laptop, and she was just journaling. And it inspired me to journal, because she journals like very consistent, and she showed me her like habit tracking system and stuff. She tracks a lot of things. Personally, it's a bit too intense for me. But seeing that kind of reignited like a spark, like it inspired me to try it again, because I've had periods where I've wanted to try all these habits, right? Like journaling every day, meditating every day, and I've never stopped to question why I was doing all these things. And for you, again, going back to the whole framework, it sounds like you really value this connection with yourself, and you've built things around that. And so the reasons you do these habits every day sounds like it's because you really value the connection with yourself, and you don't want to, leave that or forget about that. And so for me with journaling, I've found that it's been so valuable, because it has helped me connect more with myself. And the amount of, I had a friend that said, I think people just need more time to themselves to think. And I find that so true with journaling, because when I journal, sometimes it will be like bullet points, this is from the friend. She says like when she's busy, she just has bullet points, and then she goes back and fill those in. So it's like, today I did this, and this, and then you go back and fill this in. So I sometimes I do that. Other times when something's on my mind, I write about like, oh, I had this interaction with this person, and I felt this way, and I thought these things. Maybe I should do these things, or maybe I should do these things. And then after writing all that down, I'm like, I think I understand myself better, and I think if this was to happen again, I will do this. And it's an activity that I found like the most ROI, like the most return on investment on like ever. Because I was told by I was in like a men's group, which is just basically like a bunch of dudes. We just like talk about life, and one of them said, "You have all the answers," and I think that's so true, because I sit back, I think about my problems, and interactions or things that bother me, and then you just give yourself the time and space, and you're just able to come up with answers. And it's like, it's mind-blowing how this works, because all it takes is time. And for, in the case of journaling, like just a little bit of like writing. And it's amazing, because if you iterate on something like this, you can become a better person so quickly, just because you learn every day.
You're learning from your own self. Yeah. I think I will try journals. I'm starting to write every day about my experiences, but I like journals is a bit different.
Right?
Just like write what you think or what is specifically.
I hope I am not making you feel like you need to journal, because it's like try it. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, but I'm saying that because I've also felt that way too when people do things. And but the reason I'm bringing this up is because I haven't been able to be consistent with habits, because A, they haven't provided me enough value, or B, I haven't had a good enough reason to keep on doing them. And what I'm seeing now in our conversations, and with a lot of the things that I'm trying, is a really a good solid reason, is because it makes you feel connected with yourself. It makes you feel like you're giving yourself the time and the space to listen to yourself and take care of yourself. The reason I've been consistent with journaling is because I've seen the value in that. And I think that's beautiful, because I just think back to this habit tracking system that I've had, and every day I go to it and I'm like, okay, it would very rarely would it be at 100%. It'd be like, did I get enough sleep today? It's like, yes. What about going to the gym? Or what about journaling? Or what about meditating? Or what about, and it feels like, and then at some point I just like stopped tracking it, and then the habits fall off. And with journaling, it's beautiful, because I've just found it so great. And back to your question about writing, to me, I don't really view journaling as a set structure. I view journaling as just a space for me to write about my day. And the reason I do it is because, in addition to all the stuff we talked about, is because I think I think a lot, and I think I move quickly, but sometimes I move in the wrong direction quickly. And it's like I make decisions quickly, and I'm like, all right, let's go this way, or let's go this way, or let's go this way. And sometimes I don't have time to think back to decisions that I've previously made to learn from them. And so journaling I view as this just time to myself to be like, I think a lot, and I don't think I remember my days very well, and I think I would like to do that more. Like, I'm living this life, I want to remember what happened yesterday. I want to remember what happened the day before that. And it's just creating a space to do that. That's what it is for me. And so, if that's what you do with writing, then like you're already doing it. But different people have different types of journaling or different styles. But that's how I kind of view it.
Yeah, sounds really nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Today in the coaching session, we had a surfing coaching session.
Yes.
And I wrote all that the teachers say to me.
The feedback.
Yeah. It was really nice, because like I wrote like not just his words. Like I write it with my words, and thinking what I feel that I have to improve in my next classes. I wrote how I felt myself during all the week surfing.
Yeah.
It was really nice. Like, just I know that if I got my book now, I can read and understand what was happening with myself during my surf lessons, and I know what I want to improve and how I want to feel myself in water.
Yeah.
So it's really nice. I'm starting to do it more, and I'm like, I was listening to you, and then say, okay, that makes sense, all what you're saying. So I think it's a really good practice to do. I will do it.
Yeah, I want to hear about your content journey, like how that's going.
Actually, like when I started with my meditation journey, I started to share some experiences. But yeah, if I leave that, because like I put my focus on growth and learn new things. Like my last 4 years was like for travel, learning things, improve my skills. I started 2 months ago to share content on Instagram, TikTok.
And you're already at 24.1K. Yeah, on Instagram. That's 20. Oh, 26.5. You're at 25. Like when I talked to you a couple of days ago. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that one of the coolest things that I learned is how you can make interested the things that you know. I don't feel myself like expert on something, and I don't want to teach things to others. Like I like to feel like I'm just sharing my experience, just sharing the things that I know. I hope could be useful for you. It's not just ignore it, but it is working now. Like a lot of people is asking to me for 23, and I'm pretty grateful of that. That how can they can experience the same things, or how can they learn the techniques and the things that I do in my life. So I feel like it's not like the necessity, but I feel like the opportunity to share all my learnings. And I'm like, I think there is a point to how can I make interesting the things that I share. Because, for example, for my friends, like it's weird to practice meditation. So if I can do my way of thinking interesting for my friends, for example, that is it's hard. I can like impact their lives because I know that these techniques gonna help them in whatever they want. Like I don't expect that you have changed your life because how I change my life or doing the things that I do. You can do whatever you want. You will find your path. You have your own way.
So are you saying that's like a challenge that you're facing or something that you've learned? Like how to make your content more interesting?
Yeah, I think it's a challenge. And it's something that I'm learning as well.
I see.
Because like I start just to share. Like I say, okay, I will start sharing content. Okay, I put my phone in front of my face and I start to share things like that I know, that I learned, whatever. And then after one video that was viral, I start to think, okay, what is interesting in this video?
Yes.
And it was like my experience doing yoga. Okay, how can I share more about that?
Okay. All right. It's super dark, so we're gonna wrap the podcast up a little early. But you had a question for me. What was your question?
Yeah. The question is, what inspired you to make this podcast? What is your experience content creator?
I have so much to say about this. I'll answer at a high level. So I started creating content because during COVID I had nothing to do, and I was trying different things, and I found video editing very fun. That's how I started on YouTube. I didn't ever think that I would do a podcast, but it was one of the video formats that I wanted to try because I wanted to try different formats. And I'm probably going to start making more podcast episodes because something that I realized during this trip was I really like doing podcasts. And in the beginning, when I do a lot of whiteboarding sessions. I did a whiteboarding session where I was like, I'm doing all these things. I need to pick one and say no to everything else. And I said no to the podcast because I was like, I really like this, but I don't see how it can make me money. And I think back to that decision and I'm like, I should have not done that. Because I'm like, if you like something, you should keep on doing it because like liking something is so underrated because it's just infinite fuel basically for you to keep on going. So the reason I started this podcast is because I had a lot of conversations with friends that were very authentic. I learned a lot of things from those conversations and I changed a lot of things about my life from those conversations. And I wanted to give people the same experience because I can tell people to do something, but I think that's very different from somebody listening to a conversation and then deciding to take away what they want to take away from it and then make changes to their life. So that's why I started this. Cool.
I really understand you and I love your way of thinking for doing this podcast. So I also really enjoyed this conversation. It's a pleasure.
Yes. Thank you for coming on
Pleasure.
and making this happen. Yeah. Do you want to shout out your socials again and your YouTube channel or stuff?
Well,
things that you do.
It's in Spanish language.
Yeah.
But if you want,
people might know Spanish. You never know. You never know.
translate.
Yeah. You primarily do Spanish content, basically.
Yeah. It's like follow me on my Instagram. It's LoloCappucci.
I'll put it in the description. I'll throw it down there. All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming on and making this happen. And yeah, we'll say goodbye to your listeners now and watchers if you can still see us.